captain's log. After boarding the Wanderer and gaining access to the Federation shuttlecraft, we were shocked to find that it was occupied by a Starfleet officer, a very close friend of mine who we thought was killed in action in taking down a rogue doomsday machine, Commodore Matthew Decker.
Doctor, is he?
He's very much alive, but he's in some kind of catatonic state.
After what the Commodore has been through, Doctor, we shouldn't be surprised.
He's alive? Well, there goes my salvage rights.
Matt, it's me, Ryan. Can you hear me? What happened to you? How did you end up here?
He's too far gone for him to hear or answer you. I'll beam him back to the Defiant and to sickbay. I can do a more detailed examination on him. Hendricks to transporter room, 2 to beam up and have a stretcher team waiting.
I have locked onto you both and I'm ready to beam you up.
Energize.
Space. The final frontier. These are the new voyages of the Starship Defiant. Our continuing mission in a new frontier. To seek out new life and new civilizations. To boldly go where no man has gone before. A catatonic Commodore Decker has been transported aboard the Defiant and in the care of Dr. Hendricks, and I'm hoping that the good doctor can do something for him. In the meantime, Lieutenant Coleman is piloting the shuttle back to the Defiant along with Commander Lepole. Hopefully, Miss Shintara will be able to gain access to its data recorder, and we'll see how they both ended up here. All that remains is to settle with the Wanderer's captain. He seemed surprised that we were still going to honor our deal.
Okay, why? The shuttle was occupied and he's alive, so my claim to it is null and void. I get nothing.
You've did a great service for the Federation. You found one of our missing shuttles and a high-ranking officer, and you've done a great service to me. Matthew Decker is also a very good friend of mine, so consider this a reward for the rescue of a high-ranking officer and a finder's fee for the recovery of one of our shuttles.
Well, all in a day's work. I'm happy to reunite one of your lost shuttles to the Federation. And the reunion of an old friend, I was happy to help.
Then maybe you can assist us further. We are explorers, and we love the unknown. This planet you've told us about. Maybe we can help you look for it. Don't worry, the claim to it is still yours, and you have my word as a Starfleet officer that will let you know when we find it.
On your word as a Starfleet officer. Yeah, right. But seeing that you have honored one agreement, I say you're good for this one. So I'm going to have to trust you on this. I'll give you the coordinates of my starting point and where I've already searched.
Until next time, Mr. Varen, safe journey. We are heading to the Wanderer's last location to begin our search for this lost planet. We would have gone through the wormhole to the Pegasus galaxy, but this lost planet intrigues me, as does the man that has provided us with this information. There is more to this man than meets the eye. In the meantime, I'm heading to sickbay to visit an old friend. It's hard to believe that Matthew Decker is still alive, but with everything that's been happening with us, I could believe in the Tooth Fairy and unicorns.
How is he doing, Doctor?
No change. His vitals are normal, but his brain activity still showing that he's in some kind of mind lock, hence the catatonic state, and I have no idea how to snap him out of it. Which is why I called you in here, Commander. If his condition is of the mind, or to be more precise, a psychological matter, then maybe.
You are suggesting a Vulcan mind meld to help him to overcome the mind lock.
Do you think it will work, Commander?
Unknown, but it seems that we are out of options, and we need to know what happened to him. But I'll need a moment to prepare myself, to focus my mind.
How long do you need?
About 5 minutes.
Bridge to Captain Preston.
Go ahead, Mr. Farrell.
Sir, we are about 2 minutes away from the Wanderer's last position.
I'm on my way, Mr. Farrell. Preston out. Get started and keep me informed.
Understood, Captain.
We have arrived at the Wanderer's last position, so we can continue the search for this lost planet. While this is happening, Commander LaPaul is getting ready to mind meld with Commodore Decker so she can help him out of his catatonic state.
This is a cortical node. With it, I'll be able to monitor your brain activity. If I see any changes that could endanger you or the Commodore, I will be able to use the cortical node to help you safely disconnect the mind meld.
Understood, Doctor. My mind to your mind. My thoughts to your thoughts. Our minds are one. Let me help you, Matthew. I know that you do not wish to revisit the pain and loss, but you are needed here more than you think. Let me help you face and overcome that pain. What happened to your crew was not your fault. You owe it to them to be free of blame, and to your son, William.
Report, Mr. Farrell.
Ensign Daniels was just about to take us out of warp, Captain.
Then by all means, Miss Daniels, proceed.
Aye, Captain. Dropping out of warp. Helm is answering, and we are at a full stop, sir.
That's a confirm. We are at the Wanderer's last position before he abandoned the search.
Sensors are clear, both short range and long range.
Then all that remains is to plan and plot a search pattern.
Captain, little old me has taken the liberty of already creating a search pattern, sending it to Mr. Coleman's station.
That's a confirm. These are very clear and detailed search plans, Eve. Nicely done. Transferring search plan to Helm.
Why, thank you, Lieutenant. Little old me takes pride in doing my best.
Search pattern received and locked in. ETA at our first checkpoint will be in 5 minutes at Warp 2. Then the auto-navigation will set course for the next checkpoint, and so on.
And during our journey, little old me will be keeping my sensors open for anything out of the ordinary.
Sounds like you have all got everything in order. Then, if there is nothing more, Miss Daniels, you may execute our first checkpoint.
Aye, Captain.
Chief Medical Officer's log. I am currently monitoring the vitals of Commander Lepole and Commodore Decker as the commander attempts to bring the Commodore out of his catatonic state using a Vulcan mind meld. Even though this was my suggestion, I was still not thrilled in using such a technique. A mind meld can at times be unpredictable, depending on the situation, and is a last resort. But I've run out of ideas, and we have just checked into the last resort hotel.
Commodore? Matthew, can you hear me? Auxiliary control.
We are approaching our first checkpoint.
Understood. Dropping out of warp. Helm is responding.
Beginning scan of area. Scanning complete. No results.
Acknowledged. Set course to the next checkpoint.
Automatics have already plotted our next course.
Miss Daniels, execute.
Aye, Captain.
Captain, how many of these jumps do you reckon it will take until we do find this planet? If, of course, it ever existed.
You sound very skeptical about all this, Mr. Ferrell.
You've got to admit that this whole thing sounds like something of myths and legends.
There have been some truths when it comes to myths and legends, but not always. All I can say is to have faith, Mr. Ferrell. Have faith.
Commodore?
Lepole, is that really you?
Yes, Matthew. How are you feeling?
At this time, a little confused. The last thing I remember was piloting a shuttle down the throat of that doomsday monstrosity to avenge my crew. There was a blinding white light, and then I'm here. And if you're here, then we are in a mind meld, and all this is in my head. But I shouldn't be alive, Lepole, I shouldn't.
To be truthful, Matthew, there is a lot we don't understand. We too are in a similar situation.
You've had better fill me in.
Helm is answering, and we are at a full stop, sir.
Beginning scan of area. Scanning complete. Contact.
You found the planet already?
No, Captain, but I am picking up trace amounts of neutronium particles.
Neutronium? That's one of the strongest alloys we've ever come across, and it's out here, are you sure?
I am quite sure, Lieutenant. There is no mistake, and there is a trail for us to follow. And before you say anything else, Lieutenant, I know that after centuries, those particles would have dispersed with gravity currents and other space anomalies. If we were still in our galaxy, but we are in the void between those galaxies, and it seems that those rules may not apply.
Commodore on deck.
How goes the search?
No luck so far, but I did run into some good luck today.
How so?
We have some newcomers to the Void who offered to help us with the search, and they will call me when they have found our wayward planet.
You did what?
Now, before you blow a warp core, they offered to help for free after I've recovered one of their lost shuttlecrafts.
You're an idiot if you believe that they would call you. I thought a man of your intelligence wouldn't fall for such a con.
Hey, I'm good at reading people, and I got a good vibe out of this guy. He gave his word as a Starfleet officer that he would call me.
A Starfleet officer? Interesting.
Am I still going to get paid if they do find it? After all, before I bumped into them, I did spend a week searching.
Don't worry. You'll get what's coming to you.
I'll get what's coming to me. That sounded very ominous. Oh my...